We've got our next segment here concerns a press conference today by Dave Brock, the wide receivers coach at Rutgers. Had some things to say. Gabe, take us away.
Yeah, so I could either start this off with the whole rundown and we can get into our thoughts about his presser, or vice versa. I guess I'll start off with the rundown itself, right, of what he was talking about in a nutshell, so that not everyone here has to go listen to 9 minutes of Q&A. So first, he was asked about our good friend DT Sheffield, and he was very high on DT. He said he was acclimated to the culture, he's receptive to coaching, and Brock, our wide receiver coach, Dave Brock, thrilled with what he's done for the program on the field, off of it, growing, which as a senior, you love that there's still room for growth.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But again, in the spirit of having a more pessimistic take, I'm going to say, listen, Coach Brock, we love you, Coach Brock. We love Rutgers. But start answering the questions. All right?
Yes.
I'm from New Jersey, so I could be a bit blunt. Start answering the questions, for God's sake. When they ask you, how's this wide receiver group compare to previous groups that you've had? Yep. Don't say, I don't do comparisons. Nonsense. Of course you do comparisons. When they ask you who's standing out among the group, don't say, I don't look at it that way. I'm just hoping that everyone develops well. Nonsense. When we see the people you're putting on the field, we're going to know who you thought was better and who you thought had the best chance to contribute value to Rutgers offense. So come on. Just like the press conference a couple days ago, or was it last week, when they asked the quarterback coach at Alabama, Ryan Grubb, the offensive coordinator at Alabama, so who's in the quarterback league between Ty Simpson, Austin Mack, and Keelan Russell? He said, well, if a game were starting tomorrow, Ty Simpson would be the starting quarterback. That's what we want. Straight shooter, straight up.
Especially in the Northeast.
Yeah, you give a lot of coach speak, Coach Brock. And this ain't to criticize you, man, but I'm just saying, you know what? Come on this show. Let's talk real. Let's talk real about the wide receivers.
Speaking and you know what? There's ways to fluff an interview and still give answers, man. Like what you can say to that question is, even if you believe that there's still a lot of room for potential or still a lot of work to do, you say, oh, I love this group. This group is, in my opinion, is one of the best I've ever had. And that's with all due respect to previous groups. I've loved what they brought to the table. I'm thankful for what they've done. But I just see a dog in this year's group that they can win a lot of games if they keep doing what they're doing. So you don't have to disrespect years past to compare it. Even if you think that years past were better or worse, there's ways to respectfully fluff a question if you aren't comfortable giving a straightforward answer.
Exactly. But you know what the people like? They like straightforward answers. They like honesty. I mean, what the hell are we doing over here with all this, I love everybody. I love this. Nonsense. Get lost.
All right, Adam Soprano.
Now, I was an extra on The Sopranos back in 2000, and I don't regret it. I should have been one of the stars, but that's another segment we'll get to. What did Dave Brock say today? Like you said, he did praise DT Sheffield. Now, yes. DT, no offense, but you are from now on TD Sheffield, because you are going to be a star for the Scarlet Knights. We love you, and we're going to be seeing you in that end zone, and we're going to be seeing you at the Combine in 2026. So, wonderful addition for Rutgers.
Absolutely.
He says he's excited about the group. He praised Ian Strong as an elite worker, elite person. Said he has a limitless ceiling. Now, Coach Brock, that's what we're talking about. Let's get to the real. Let's cut all the BS. Let's get to the stuff. Or let's not behave like babies over here. And then he's talking KJ Duff. Praises KJ Duff about his positive development and a high-end player. But again, we want some more meat on those bones, Coach Brock. Tell us who's doing good, who needs improvement. What I did like about what Coach Brock said is he's committed to development, and they need a lot of development coming into the season with that tough schedule in those games at Ohio State, home against Oregon and Penn State, home against Iowa, at a strong Illinois team. Let's go, Coach Brock. Come on, give it to us straight, huh?
The crazy thing about those games is you got to win 2 of 3 and win every other game to get into the playoffs. I mean, that's nearly – I don't want to say impossible, but that's asking a lot from this crew. Back to Ian Strong, though. He said ceiling is limitless. I wrote that down too. I'm glad we both took that away. We took that away out of Piscataway, you could say. He was also phenomenal in meetings. That's what Mr. Brock said, and that he's great with new players. So he's showing the leadership, and I like that out of him. And some more about Brock in general. He said he was impressed by individual performances, but looking from a system lens rather than prioritizing the individual. And Adam talked about this earlier, and I'm going to sort of piggyback on it. He doesn't talk about players when you ask him to name someone, but he does talk about them if you provide him with a name and ask him to expand. So maybe that's a little something to note once he comes on the show. We're not going to ask him out of this group, who do you like, or who is doing this, who is doing that. We say, is this player doing this? What do you think of this player? Because, with media training, you got to sort of approach it from a psychoanalytical point of view.
Yeah, and Coach Brock, we love you, of course. We're only kind of joking around here, but let's be straight. No more coach speak. It's like when I talk to my students, I'm like, "How you doing today?" "Oh, I'm doing great, professor." "How you really doing?" "Absolutely horrible. I'm too stressed out." Well, why did we have to go through this 2 times instead of the first time? Give us a direct answer. That's what we want. I will say this for Coach Brock, though. He did say something that stuck out to me. Speaking about our good friend Ethan Kaliakmanis, the Minnesota transfer, saying Ethan has shown tremendous leadership and growth and is an unquestioned leader of the offense. Ethan, I got to give you props for that, buddy.
Yes, that's a beautiful thing to hear.
You have progressed and developed. You made some throws last year that were NFL caliber. So we're rooting for you. We're looking for you and TD Sheffield to light up that scoreboard this year and pull out that shocker against the Ducks in Piscataway. I'll be there. If you're there, we're going to celebrate.
And I will definitely not be wearing Oregon green that day. And, there's 2 things about when Brock was talking about Ethan I wanted to bring up. The first, it's great that he is seeing from not really coaching him because he's the wide receivers coach. It's great that he's seeing these great cosigns from the wide receivers, and that he said, quote, "Players have utmost belief in Ethan." And that's a really good thing to hear, because these wide receivers, who do you think they're going to vent to if Ethan's having an off game? They're going to vent to the wide receiver coach. I mean, they're going to vent to each other. And, a New Jersey program, you'd hope they talk to Ethan straight up. But the fact that they're saying nothing but great things to him, the wide receiver coach, that is, I mean, he's the guy, he's almost going to be their psychologist when it comes to, or the mediator even when it comes to wide receiver quarterback relationships when things are bad. But things are not bad between the wide receiver and quarterbacks, or the wide receivers and the quarterback.
That's a great point. And I'm going to tell you, I'm convinced now, after studying Ethan, watching his highlights from last year and hearing what the coaches are saying about him, I am now officially an Ethan Kaliakmanis groupie.
Okay.
So
groupie's a little crazy, but
okay. I use it in a gender neutral way, but I say I am a supporter of Ethan Kaliakmanis. Yes. Ethan, you've got a lot going for you, man, and I think this year is going to be a special year. I can't wait to see you play in person. I mean, proud of you. It's
just the fact that we are harsh on Ethan. You are definitely a little more harsh on him than I am, but from a neutral perspective, he had a great year. From an analytical perspective, he had a great year. And we expect great things, but he did have a great year to build upon. And it sounds like in the offseason, he's built upon that year and should really come off strong for us. Not necessarily like Ian Strong. He should come off Ian Strong for us.
I love that. And you know what, Ethan, the rest of the players, the coaches, we give you your fair share of credit, but when we offer constructive criticism, it is because we care. It is because we care about you and want to offer you criticism that will, in some small way, help you. When people stop caring, that's really when you got to worry. But, that's the motivation.
As a Jets fan, I've been there.
I've tried to tell you to stop being a Jets fan. You just won't listen.
It's hard. I mean, I'm not necessarily repping Oregon green, but gang green all the way.
There's another team that plays in the exact same stadium. You don't have to travel a single mile.
Are you trying to tell me the Giants are somehow less heartbreaking?
No, they're more heartbreaking, which is why you should be a Giants fan, because you should want to be a fan of the underdog. And I'm sad that you aren't. It disappoints me, Gabe.
All right. Well, the Jets are totally underdogs. But here's one more thing that Brock wanted to let us know. right? This is a one last kind of statement, and it's a bold statement. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about with this, and you took a lot of my notes, man. Come on. But it's okay because that means we're like-minded.
Are you going to talk about Kyle Monangai again?
No, I'm not going to talk about NFL-ready Kyle Monangai. But what I will say...
I hope he is NFL-ready because I love the guy.
Yes. What I will say is he said that he believes this wide receiver staff is one of the best in the country. His support on the wide receiver staff. Now, we have great NFL experience with our staff, and saying that, I mean, everyone's supposed to believe that they're the best in the game. They're one of the best. They have a real shot against anybody. But I got a feeling that he really meant it because we didn't see a lot of emotion from him, but he spoke up really loud about saying that Schiano has given him one of the best staffs in the country. That's a bold thing to say, and I believe him.